Welcome to Film and Page. I'm Dominic, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 6, The Tragedy. So if you haven't seen this episode yet, it came out last week. I'll give a quick rundown of the plot. So The Mandalorian has arrived at the planet, and that has the ancient Jedi temple on it, and with the stone that he's supposed to put Baby Yoda on that stone. I'm going to keep calling him Baby Yoda because I can't stand Grogu, but he's going to put Baby Yoda on that stone so Baby Yoda can use it to reach out to other Jedi out in the galaxy. So they make their way there. He places Baby Yoda on the stone. Nothing seems to be happening to it. And then they get a visitor. And he sees another ship show up. It's another bounty hunter, and so anyway, he has to deal with them. And then while he's dealing with them, a strange energy field shoots his way up around Baby Yoda, and he's meditating inside of it. The Mandalorian can't penetrate this field and can't get him out. And then on top of that, to double his troubles, the remnants of the Empire show up. In Moff Gideon's ship. And then a bunch of stormtroopers, bunch of almost like troop carriers land with a bunch of stormtroopers in it, and they're also after Baby Yoda. But he's not alone in battling these stormtroopers because he gets help in this episode because Boba Fett shows up. Now, Boba Fett was teased, and I think he was teased actually in season 1 in one of the episodes. And because the woman that was after him, the female bounty hunter that kind of left behind on the deserts of Tatooine, remember there were strange feet that showed up next to her? Well, that was Boba Fett. So Boba Fett pulled her out of that. So now Boba Fett is there because he wants his old armor back. And so anyway, in return, he makes a deal with the Mandalorian. We'll help you, defend Baby Yoda, save Baby Yoda, if I can have that Mandalorian armor. So Jango Fett, I'm jumping ahead of myself here. So the Mandalorian asks him, well, are you even a Mandalorian? Did you take the oath? And he just says, I'm just a simple man making my way in the world. So anyway, tons of action. And you even get the Dark Troopers in this. And if I'm not mistaken, they look familiar, those Dark Troopers. I think they might be something from the EU. I'm not sure. And so anyway, another just action-packed episode in this one. And I gotta say, it was really cool to see Tamira Morrison return as Boba Fett. So now he was in the prequels, episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Now, actually, Attack of the Clones is my least favorite of the prequel movies. But one of my favorite things about the movie was Jango Fett. I thought he was really cool. And in that movie, we finally got to see what Boba Fett, since Boba Fett is a clone of Jango Fett, we got to see what Boba Fett looked like. And Boba Fett has always been one of my favorite side characters from the original trilogy. So now we get to see him. He's kind of scarred up looking. Obviously, that was from where he was in the Sarlacc pit. And we get to see him just all out, go out fighting, just knocking the crap out of stormtroopers left, right, and center. And then see him back in the armor again and using it to its full potential. It was a really cool episode. It was a cool episode to see. And definitely worth giving a watch. This series, I have to say, has been really fun to watch. Now, I know the episodes are kind of getting formulaic and repetitive a little bit, but at the same time, it's still so much fun to see all these cool references to other things in Star Wars, and even a reference to Grand Admiral Thrawn that was referenced in the last episode, but I actually forgot to talk about that in the last video. So, looks like we may be seeing Grand Admiral Thrawn somewhere in the future of this series, because they already teased at him. And Boba Fett's almost like a natural character you would bring into this show. Why wouldn't you bring him in? It's just one of those obvious ones. You'd want to see the Mandalorian either go up against Boba Fett or have them team up. So in this one, they end up teaming up together. And so it's really cool. And and the Slave One, Boba Fett's ship, is actually one of my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite Star Wars ship, but it'd be right up there in a top 5 at the very least. Because when I was a kid, I always thought that ship looked so cool. And that's actually My toy slave one in the picture there that I bought like over 20 years ago now at Toys R Us. And actually, the Boba Fett figure, I only bought that maybe a few years ago. But the ship I've had around for a long time. And the thing, now the one thing I have to say about this episode, and discussing Boba Fett's appearance in it, the thing about Boba Fett, I mean, it's cool, and it's cool to learn more about him, but he's one of those things that there was always like a mystery surrounding him. Because back in the day when you just had the original trilogy, you didn't have anything else, and even before the expanded universe, like after Return of the Jedi, like when I was a kid, that's all I had for Star Wars was the first 3 movies, and then after they came and went, then you had some spin-off cartoons, and the Ewoks made for TV movies. But you didn't, the expanded universe didn't get going until the early 90s. So there's so much about Star Wars that was just a mystery to me as a kid. And Boba Fett was a big mystery. He showed up in Empire. He had this really cool looking ship, I thought, and he just looked cool. The armor looked cool. And he was a bounty hunter. His name was Boba Fett. That's it. You didn't know anything about him. I don't even, when I think about it now, in Empire Strikes Back, I don't even know if they even mentioned his name in that movie. If his name, Boba Fett's, actually mentioned. I don't think you actually get to learn his name until Return of the Jedi, if I remember. I might be remembering the movies wrong. So this was a really mysterious character. And it was a character you always wondered about. Everyone thought he was cool, but no one knew anything about him. You just knew he was a bounty hunter. That's it. And he had this cool looking armor. Like back then, nobody knew what a Mandalorian was. There was no mention of Mandalorians. That never came up until like the expanded universe stuff came around. And so even when that came out, there was always this mystery of, well, is Boba Fett, I heard all kinds of theories that Boba Fett used to be a stormtrooper that went rogue and became a bounty hunter, and things like that. I heard there was like quite a few theories like amongst fans that were floating around. That's like one of the ones that kind of stand out that I remember, that Boba Fett was an ex-stormtrooper. And you didn't know anything about him. Even when the books came out, the Bounty Hunter Wars, it really skirted around, didn't reveal much about the character, even though the book was really entertaining. But they still kept a lot of, Boba Fett's background and mystery. And in that book, it mentions, well, he has Mandalorian armor, and then that's when you start hearing. That's one of the first times I really start hearing anything about Mandalorians, and even the Mandalorians were like a mystery. So that's kind of like, I guess, the downside to having Boba Fett in the series and learning more about Boba Fett, with him being in the series now, and then with all the EU material, and then with the prequel trilogy that explains his origin. So now you know exactly what he was. He was a clone of Jango Fett, and then all the stormtroopers were a clone of Jango Fett. They were an army of clones, but he was like a direct copy. So he didn't age up faster. He aged at like a normal speed. And but you still didn't really know, was he a Mandalorian or was he not a Mandalorian? He just had Mandalorian armor. And that was something that I was never really clear on, but that they explain that in this episode. He describes, well, my father was a Mandalorian. He was a foundling. But that kind of contradicts what I heard. As I remember in the Clone Wars, I thought Jango Fett had stolen the Mandalorian armor and he wasn't really a Mandalorian. That's what I always thought, but I don't know maybe if this is a retcon or I'm remembering my Star Wars lore incorrectly. But at any rate, it was still cool to see the character in the episode, and it looks like we're going to get to see more of him. And it was cool to see the Slave One, because I really like that ship. That is a cool looking ship. So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will see you at the next one. I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you all in helping this channel grow. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded.